Hey everyone, I found a good old case here by it's been over 100 years now. Um, Everybody knows about the story of Jack the Ripper. Now, Jack the Ripper over serial killer murdered at least five prostitutes at the time in 1888, which now crime buffs are still frustrated with Jack the Ripper case more than 115 years later. Now, how Jack the Ripper name got started is given an unknown killer due to the correspondence at the time from someone claiming to be the killer signed with that name. But while the murders were taking place, the assailant was known as the Whitechapel Murder or the Leather Apron. Now, there were several disputes of how many he killed. Victims that Jack the Ripper claimed. Some believe that he killed only four prostitutes during the spree, while others think he may have killed more than nine. It's generally accepted that there were five victims. Victims of Jack the Ripper, one was Mary Ann Nichols, murdered on Bucks Row on Friday, August 31st of 1888. His next victim was Annie Chapman, murdered at 29 Henbury Street on Saturday, September the 8th of 1888. And Elizabeth Stride, murdered on Burner Street, Sunday, September the 30th of 1888. Then Catherine Edrose, murdered on Mitre Square, Sunday, September 30th of 1888. And then Mary Jean Kelly, murdered at number 13 Miller's Court, Friday, November 9th of 1888. Now, although there were 13 other women murdered on the East End area of December 1887 through until April 1891, most observers agree that they were not the victims of Jack the Ripper. But the most most interesting is there's a website. If you go to Casebook Jack the Ripper website, Stephen Ryder, exclusive editor, online resource information related to the 1988 murders of back then that they were called Jack the Ripper too. There was so kind of same way of he did it back in the 1800s, but this one's different. Update. The site cuts through myths of misconceptions about the case and presence of all known evidence, continues to report new findings. As Ray reported, the mission statement of the case book, the Ripper victim remains faceless until 1960. Their mortuary photographers were finally rediscovered. Indeed, even more photography have been unearthed past decades. Perhaps more promising is discovering of a little child's letter in the early 1990s, revealing the first time in over a century the name of Scotland Yard's top suspects, if current trends are anything to go by, much more than discover of coming millenniums. I can't talk, sorry about that, gentlemen. The victim profile, the five generally accepted Ripper victims, including biography, police reports, autopsy and reports, crime photography, autopsy photographer. I can't talk. But suspects, a profile of 27 different men suspect at the time or later in the history of being Jack the Ripper. Some profiles are still in development. Hundreds of letters were sent to the police department and local press, written by the Whitechapel. Most of the which were hoaxes, but some are believed to be from the killer. Introducing Dear Boss letters, Sassy Jackie postcards, and From the Hell letters. There are reproduced on sites. But The press report more than 1844 complete transcript, 1,844 complete transcripts of contemporary news articles which cover which Whitechapel murders, catalyzed by the newspaper by authors. So yeah, it's still, I'm reading, seeing all these different shows, like the TV show Jack the Ripper on BBC and stuff, and it's still strange that there's still that one person there still, because they're talking about this one sailor who sailed around different places and knew the area as much, because as a sailor they would know the area. They've been there several times, but if we had like fingerprints and stuff back then, they could have found the right killer at the time. So that's another good famous story. Hope you like it, of a famous cold case that's still alive and still wondering who could be next on their past history crime. Like Jimmy Hoffa. It's still going. No one who knows who killed him. Where's he buried? So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye now.